evening, everybody. I'm Mark.
And I'm Britton.
And today we watched Cliffhanger. It was a movie by, starring Sylvester Stallone from the early 90s. I think, 92?
93.
93. So let's get started. Go ahead. Yes.
So if I recall, this is your first viewing of the film.
Yes, that's actually exactly what I was going to say. This was my first time ever watching this.
And I had watched it when I was a wee lad of 9.
Oh, okay.
So, it was, for what it was, like the stunt work. Well, let's get into it. Let's get into it.
Did you, before we start, did you like it better now or when you were 9?
When I was 9. It seemed like this film gained a few crow's feet in the intervening years.
All right, so go ahead and tell the people listening at home just a very quick, brief overview about what this movie was, about.
So, Sylvester Stallone is a kind of a search and rescue guy in the mountains. I think it was the Colorado, the Rockies. Just like for climbers who go up and get lost or get stuck. And the opening of the movie is he's doing like this ridiculous overhang climb, and he's saving, I forget his name, but he's Yondu.
Yeah, Yondu, Michael Rooker.
Yeah, Michael Rooker, and he hurt his knee, and him and his wife were up in the mountains, and they got stuck.
Mm-hmm.
So Stallone's on his way. He's climbing up, and Stallone's wife, and I don't know who the old guy was.
He's just another rescue worker.
We'll say he's Andy Griffith.
Yeah. Okay.
And they're flying up to rescue him. So they get a line over, and Michael Rooker kind of scoots across on a zip line, and it's his wife's turn. Stallone hooks her up. Excuse me. And she starts shimmying across, but her belt's made of shit, and it breaks, and Stallone starts climbing across to get her, and it doesn't work. She falls to her death.
Oh yeah. Spoiler alert. Yeah. Yeah. She plunges off like 4,000 or 5,000 feet to what we can only assume is a death.
Yeah.
I don't think she survived, but stranger things have happened.
Like she comes back in Cliffhanger 2, The Revenge.
Yeah, she's got like some metal parts. She got a peg leg, but anyway. Then Smash cuts to 8 months later, and Stallone's on his way back. I guess he took a job in I don't know what he's doing.
He took a job in North Dakota because he didn't want to have to deal with Yondu.
There's no mountains up there, so he's like, this is fun.
There's not a cliff anywhere.
Yep, and
so
he comes back at just, I guess, like
hold on. On the way, he meets what I can only describe 2 Generation X face people. Like what?
Yeah, they were like 2 Finnish or Swedish.
No, they were American.
Oh, well, the guy had the Finnish flag on his
did he?
Parachute.
I didn't
according
even know
to the trivia. But
they were a stereotype of what Generation X was at the time in the 90s.
It was almost like they were more Generation X than the guys from Biodome.
Which says something.
So, anyway.
He meets his wife, and they have an argument because he left and didn't come back, and now he's back and wants her to leave, and just marital problems.
Of course, and at the same time, there's a crazy aerial like money grab, like a money heist on this plane that's transporting money, and a very, very small sum, mind you, for something like this. It was $100 million, and they basically these terrorists try to steal, well, I can't say terrorists, these thieves try to steal this money, and unfortunately the money slips out and lands in the same mountains that Stallone used to work at.
So the bad guys, they crash their plane and then call search and rescue, hoping to hijack a helicopter, but just got Stallone and Yondu instead, and proceed to go on a hike to find
all this money.
Yeah.
Now, this is basically the meat of the movie is Stallone trying to kind of, I guess, outwit these 5 or 6 again thieves, I guess is the best way to put it. While they have Yondu basically captive, trying, Yondu's helping them find the money in exchange for continuing to live.
Yeah.
And so it's basically Die Hard on a mountain, kind of.
Yeah. In exchange for what's his name as Hans Gruber.
Oh, yeah, I know who you mean, Hans Gruber.
Yeah, instead of Alan Rickman for Hans Gruber, we get John Lithgow.
Yes, this is actually a pretty star-studded movie in some respects.
And I like John Lithgow, but John Lithgow's character was not at all threatening.
Now, let's talk a little bit about the bad guy character that was John Lithgow. This is going to be a very strange and obscure reference, but first of all, the bad guys in this movie were just dolts.
They were incompetent.
Yeah, and it's part of the reason why I guess Die Hard was a lot more fun than this movie is because the terrorists, the thieves in Die Hard.
No, they were terrorists in Die Hard.
Who said we were terrorists? That's what.
That's true.
Yeah. So anyway, the bad guys in Die Hard were competent. They had a plan and they executed it with a pretty efficient way.
And there was a mutual respect between John McClane and Hans Gruber at. It was a chess match.
Yeah, this movie, the bad guys aren't as threatening, they're not competent, and it actually makes the hero less, less of a challenge for the hero to overcome if the bad guys are basically shooting themselves in the feet the entire time.
Yondu is undermining them at every corner.
And they don't do anything about it. They're like, we need them.
He'll undermine them, and then they'll just kind of leave him alone in the background to do whatever the hell he wants.
Yeah, it's crazy to think that he gets away with half the stuff that he gets away with.
And they have a tracking device.
Yeah,
they have a tracking device to find the things.
They don't need any of these guys, but anyway, I'm getting a little ahead of myself. John Lithgow as the bad guy was not a very good bad guy, which is a shame because I wanted to see John Lithgow just go over the top,
I was hoping that we would get another, we would get John Lithgow from Buckaroo Banzai, where he was batshit insane.
I want to say that I wanted to see a John Lithgow, this is going to be a weird reference.
All right.
In an episode of Third Rock from the Sun, there's an evil Dick who basically takes over the appearance of Dick, who was played by John Lithgow. And the evil Dick was much more intimidating on that show than John Lithgow's character in this movie. I would have rather have evil Dick be the bad guy in this movie.
There was a point where spoiler alert, there's a twist where there's a bald guy. Well, there's a lot of bald guys, but the guy who has the tracking device is pretty much holding that hostage in order to kind of buy his life.
Mm-hmm.
And he pulls a gun on John Lithgow, and John Lithgow kills his girlfriend because she's the only other pilot who can pilot the copter.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, "All right, well, go get the money. I'm just gonna sit here." And he just kind of sits in the helicopter and pouts.
Yeah, he just kind of waits it out for a little bit. He's like, just contact me when the end of the movie's here.
And I don't know why he went with an English accent because it was
terrible.
It was not a good. It was probably one of the most
it's Keanu Reeves level English accent bad.
Yeah, almost. It was he was an old English lord. Reginald, come here and massage my bunions. Kind of like that level of almost effeminate.
This mountain has our money, so let's go and get our money. I don't know what that was. I guess it was just like me trying to do a British accent.
And it was just I remember as a kid thinking, oh, I was impressed. He pulled it off when I was a kid.
Yeah, when you were 9.
Yeah, when I was 9, I'm like, oh, he's an Englishman. And looking at it now, how was I fooled?
So there's a couple things I do want to point out. First of all, the money that they steal in this, first of all, it's a huge, like, air hijacking, which requires an inside man for money that's basically worthless.
Yeah, it was a huge there were $1,000 bills, which, you can't spend $1,000 bills anywhere.
Yeah, so, like, it was almost a useless, hijacking, but it was $1,000 bills denomination for what resulted in $100 million, which, don't get me wrong, that's a lot of money, but not a lot, you know?
You have to think, the U.S. government spends $100 million on toilet paper, probably, for all the government buildings.
Like, to put it in perspective, Hans Gruber, robbing a Nakatomi place, there was like $641 million in negotiable bearer bonds.
Bearer bonds?
Yeah, of course, the bearer bonds.
Yeah.
But anyway, like, 600, like, in 1987 Die Hard, there was 6 times as much at stake here.
Almost 7.
Yeah. Like, it's ridiculous. I'm like, all right, I know $100 million is absolutely nothing to sneeze at, but can't you, like, up it a little bit? Maybe $4 billion.
Even $1 billion. Yeah. I would, just add another 0, and I would have been satisfied.
But no, $100 million, it's like, man, I mean, you're doing all this work for this, like, you could have just retired.
Like, it was almost Dr. Evil level, like $100 million.
Yeah, like, I would have been so much happier if, because now we're gonna get a little bit into the farcical side of this. I would have been a lot happier if they're doing all this for something that was like $6,000, like doing all this kind of stunt, these crazy, ridiculous action sequences for
$100,000.
Yeah, something that's, like, absurd. Like, guys, you really shouldn't be doing this. Like, you can actually get a loan from a bank for $100,000.
Here's what I would want it to be.
Okay.
It's not money. It's
a cheese sandwich.
No, it's the Mona Lisa. Like, it's and the entire time, like, Sly, he finds it and he, like, cuts it out of the painting and he rolls it up, but, like, the whole movie, this rolled up painting's, like, rolling down mountains. It goes into, like, rivers, and, like, it's so horribly mistreated.
Here, I think we can work with this.
All right.
I got. You see, you sparked me. You sparked me there. You sparked me. So yeah, they're transporting the Mona Lisa like through airplane for they're actually gonna send it to New York for some professional.
Like, it's on loan from the Louvre,
and like they're doing some like professional repairs of some kind, something. Yeah, they're doing it, and but it's secret, so they have a fake Mona Lisa in the Louvre right now.
Yeah, and
to kind of quell people.
Like, it's a big operation. There's like 3 other dummy planes that are flying. I
kind of like a shell game.
Yeah, and they're like the useless whistler's mother.
And so when they do all this stuff, like, now the FBI and the DEA and Interpol, they have to keep this story from reaching anybody else, because if word gets out, the panic is just going to revolt completely about this fake, for some reason, about this fake Mona Lisa.
And there's a plucky reporter that gets wind of what's going on. Somehow that there was a plane crash. Yeah. And the Mona Lisa is in the. I guess if it's in New York, it would be, I guess, in the Appalachia.
Yeah, they catch wind that the Mona Lisa that's at the Louvre is the fake one because it was on this plane. Like, I don't know, they intercepted a call or something. And so they're starting to get the story out. Now, all these millionaires who go to Paris to see the real Mona Lisa, now they feel like they've been suckered by the fake Mona Lisa. They want to see the actual one, so they start like an actual revolt that actually plunges Europe's economy like into like a new dark age.
All right, I'm gonna backpedal a little bit.
Okay.
It's not the Mona Lisa, but it's something. It's like a Rembrandt or a Picasso or a Michelangelo. One, a big famous painter. And there's an auction going on, and people are actively bidding on this, but it's a fake painting because the real painting's off for repairs, going to New York or wherever, California, to get restored for for the auction.
Yeah. Okay.
But something happens, and the plane crashes, maybe in Colorado, or, wherever there's a big mountain.
You okay?
I'm bourbon.
All right, so,
excuse me.
Disgusting.
So, and it's, the plucky reporter, they're trying to, make sure these millionaires who are bidding on the painting don't find out, or else it'll be a big hubbub.
So I do want the people to find out, and again, I want this to kind of threaten on a global economic disaster. So the fact that Sylvester Stallone's character successfully retrieving this painting and bringing it down the mountain is a matter of global significance.
But there's other less valuable paintings that he's burning for warmth.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, so long, Last Supper.
Really, the entire Last Supper. Like the plaster painting that they...
Yep, and also, like, I think the one he's got is the Birth of Venus. That's the painting. And so he's got to carry this thing down this mountain and everything and stop the terrorists, because the terrorists, they what do the terrorists want with the painting? It can't just be they want this painting.
They are art forgers.
Okay.
And
they're gonna sell it for...
Yeah, they're gonna forge a bunch of it. You can probably find high render images of the painting, but nothing. You can't forge a painting better than having the painting actually there.
And so they're going to forge it, sell it for a shit ton of money. These different forgeries to the different people who are now bidding on this auction, because they figure, all right, well, somebody's got to, somebody's going to lose, or someone's going to do this, do that. So they want to sell it to 4 different people, unbeknownst to anyone else, and get like billions of dollars, because these art people are spending ridiculous amounts of money on it.
And they're the ones that leak it to the auction.
Yes.
Because they want that auction to close so they can sell a bunch of forgeries underground.
Mm-hmm. And they can sell it to 10 bidders, and by the time these millionaires figure it out, it's already too late. They've left the country,
Oh yeah, yep.
And they burn the original painting along with it.
Oh jeez.
Yeah. They don't care.
These guys are animals.
They're terrorists.
But I imagine Stallone gets it. There's a point in the movie where he's tobogganing down the hill
with
on the painting.
I think that I think he wraps it around him for warmth.
Yeah.
I got it. At one point, he's going down the cliff, and there's no other way. He's gonna fall off this cliff. So he unfurls it and kind of rides it down like a hang glider. Just enough so that he can, sail on to, and land safely.
Just plummets through tree branches, but it's enough just to slow him down.
Yeah, exactly.
And I want a scene where he's hanging off a cliff, and he has the painting in one hand, and he's just, don't you let go! Yeah,
so he's got to make a choice between a painting and, I guess...
some lady.
And how does he save both of them?
I don't know, does he?
If this painting doesn't make it, the entirety of the world economics is gonna collapse in and of itself. But I'm your wife. But the economics of the world. I think he lets her go. But she survives. No, she dies.
He gives her the painting to hang glide.
Okay.
And since she's a lighter person, it works. She makes it to the other side of the valley.
No, I got it. He drops the painting, and it lands in between 2 trees, and he goes to pull her up, and she slips, lands on a painting, and trampolines back up to him, which he grabs her to safety.
The
Mario Brothers. I'd high five you, but then I'd be single. Yeah, and they get the painting. This is I gotta be honest, this would be so ridiculous. I would be invested in this movie.
Yeah.
And so here's the question: do we continue having the bad guy be John Lithgow?
Oh yeah. Like even though he wasn't a good villain, I think that was more the writing than it was John Lithgow.
So I want him to be instead of this attempting to be Alan Rickman villain that he was doing here, I want him to be an art villain. Like, I want him to have, like, a top hat and coattails with a monocle because he is, like, the world's foremost authority on art. And
he's like the artist from this is gonna be obscure,
okay.
like the peanut butter solution, where he draws things that come to life, or something like that.
Okay, all right.
Like he paints a gun and then starts shooting with it.
I mean, if we're doing this whole art thing, I mean, I guess on one hand, it is a very, like, realistic idea that we're doing that for some reason it's gonna plunge in an economic disaster. Like, that's a real world, I guess, problem.
Yeah.
But the villain being able to draw anything he wants, like Harold in the purple crayon, I guess is a neat idea for a villain.
Well, the thing is that he is such a good artist that when he paints something, it's so realistic that the human mind makes it real, like the Matrix.
Okay, so that's why he can have, basically, he can have anything he wants to complete this. And Sylvester Stallone, he's just a rock climber. So how is he going to, like, match wits with this guy?
Yeah, it's going to be tough. There's a point where he paints his wife to hold hostage.
Okay.
And
it's like scribble knots now.
Yeah. But there's something he says to figure out, like something minor, like a mole on her cheek that's on the wrong side. Because
he does it from a different perspective, kind of thing. Okay. I know my wife. I know everything that she has. And
What?
That's not my wife. He shoots the right one. It's one of those I don't know which one to shoot situation.
Oh yeah.
But when he shoots the fake wife, she doesn't bleed, but paint comes out of her.
I figured she'd just roll up.
Just
yeah. like a shade.
Yeah. Crush you.
Good choice. And he just and just scoots away.
He scurries away. He paints himself a quick hang glider, and he just hang glides away. Good choice. We'll meet again.
That guy's good. He's good.
Now, okay, so we have the hero set up, we have the villain set up, we have the stakes set up.
Yeah.
So, how does this? What's the climax of this movie going to be like? You know, it can't just be like them fighting on a helicopter. There's got to be like we really have to find a way to exploit this. Anything is possible, kind of thing.
So, at the climax of the movie, the John Lithgow has him dead to rights.
Mm-hmm.
And up in the helicopter comes the old guy with his own paint set.
Okay. He was a painter in the movie.
He was a painter in the movie, and he paints these abstractions that John Lithgow can't understand, and it just makes him, brings him to a mental breakdown.
I was going to suggest... a
paint-off?
Yeah, something similar, only it's not the old man with the paintbrush, or, you know, he drops the paintbrush to Sylvester, and it turns out that Sylvester Stallone is also a world-class painter. He just never told anybody. Or his is just cartoon.
That would be funny too. Like he just has like dumb child drawings.
Yeah, exactly.
But
they also come to life.
I was gonna say that John Lithgow like draws a gun and kills the old man, and when the old man's dying, he gives Stallone his paintbrush and passes on his powers.
Okay. Like you see like a weird like golden glow like leave the old man and like, you know, pass through to Sylvester Stallone like through the paintbrush.
Yeah.
When they exchange that moment, there's like a little glow and you know that alright, this time it's personal.
And he can bring paintings to life too, but it's again like you said,
dumb stuff.
It's stick figures and.
Now I would have like John Lithgow quickly paints like this huge army of like knights and, you know, things like that, like from the Renaissance, where on the other hand Sylvester Stallone has like a bunch of just cartoon.
He has bugs, like a shitty Bugs Bunny.
Yeah, and there's like bears and everything like the Yogi Bear and they all like these two armies battle to the death. While in the middle of it all, like in the middle of the carnage, him and John Lithgow are fighting with like, I want their fight to almost be like the fight from the end of Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say like with all these characters, it's like Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
Like all like these two armies, one of an intimidating artistic rendering of perfection, and the other one just children's drawings of these.
Well, sure, yeah, that can be going on in the background. But these two duking it out is more like using all these different cartoon thing. Like he can draw an extendo boxing glove if he wanted to bop him on the nose.
Yeah, Stallone draws a hole in the ground to hide in.
Yeah. He draws just a circle and he throws it and he just jumps through at the last second.
Yeah, and comes out the top of the screen.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly how I would do it. And he punches him. Ah! Evenly matched, I see.
I haven't had this much fun since art school.
And I think the thing that finally does it is he draws to a child a scary-looking monster that eats John Lithgow.
And like John Lithgow, I was gonna say draws himself as a scary monster, and Stallone draws a shitty mirror, and John Lithgow gets scared and backs off the cliff.
Okay. I was actually gonna go one better, where
he dies like Mum-Ra.
I was gonna go where he draws himself into his final monster form. So now he's more of a painting than an actual man, and now he throws paint thinner on him and melts him.
That works.
Yeah.
I was gonna say he does that, makes himself a big monster, and Stallone draws a crayon robot suit that he's in.
Get away from me, you bitch! What?
Get away from me, you bad man!
Or I imagine final form monster, they duke it out, and then he throws a paint thinner, and it's just, the monster part washes off, and it's just John Lithgow now his brush doesn't work because he's, the paint is run off, and he just punches him to death. He just beats him to death.
What, John Lithgow?
Yeah, one punch to him, and just like his face just folds in.
He crumples like Zach Galifianakis in when Tyson gets him.
It's just over immediately. Because
at the end of the day, he's a big brick of meat.
Yeah,
that's Stallone.
And the other one is just an old dandy who likes art.
A wiry old art lover.
Yeah, and then that's it. It's just, it's over. Like you killed him. You killed him, Rock. Oh, yeah.
And but the sequel bait, John Lithgow, they have some papers for him to sign, and they give him the pen, which is a bad idea, and he draws a key for him to escape.
See, I was gonna just go a different route, where, like, he's dead. They kill John Lithgow? Yeah, they kill John Lithgow by one hit, and that's it. He's just dead. He's dead.
All right.
But for some reason, they save his brain.
Oh, okay.
So now they put his brain in something else, like a gorilla, or which would actually be perfect because they're trying to teach it sign language.
They name him Coco.
Yeah, but now it can draw things. Yeah.
But since he doesn't have opposable thumbs, they're clumsy art drawings, and he's trapped in that ape forever.
Oh, that would be terrifying because he's got the mind of a John Lithgow, but he's still just an ape.
He still has clumsy ape fingers.
All right, how about instead of the ape for the sequel, they attach his brain to a computer, so now he can render things in like Photoshop that can be real.
So he's just a super brain in a computer.
He's a super brain in a computer that can make any image. He can actually scour the internet and find any image to bring to life.
And I imagine he uses a 3D printer to make himself a robot body.
Okay, almost like what was it we were just watching that had something like that?
Oh, what the hell was that? Was that with
It was Universal
Studios.
It was just oh yeah, Virtuosity. There was that too. I was thinking more of the Universal Soldier movie.
Oh yeah, where the computer made himself a body.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what that he makes himself a 3D body, but he can also still, like I said, any image that's on the internet he can render to life because of his magic ability. And so like now the stakes are actually increased for the sequel. Like this man could have painted anything before, but now he can instantly bring anything, if he wants to, he can make a black hole.
Yeah. The problem is he's corrupted by memes. He tries to render a gun, but it's a gun with but at the
like douchebag Steve's like hat on it,
its bullets are shaped like the troll face.
See, now I'm thinking that at first, like maybe the first third of the movie, he can bring anything from the internet, and it's terrifying. He's an actual threat. But then, he becomes corrupted, and everything becomes meme-like to the point where, like, these things aren't going away. So, like, there's just thousands and thousands and thousands of copies of all these different memes just walking around, interacting with things to the point where, like, the Earth almost starts to become crowded, and they can't stop it.
Like, he tried to become super aware, but the human brain can only handle so much before going insane.
Yeah.
And like, there's just so much, like, I imagine he doesn't absorb all of the internet at once. As the movie's progressing, he's getting more and more.
Yeah.
And it's just, once he starts going to the Chan sites.
Oh gosh, it loses grip on reality.
Yeah.
Now imagine the big threat in the movie is that every now and again it just pushes, like, it basically Control A, selects all the things that it's made in the world and just keeps on copying and pasting it until it's like an exponential growth of these things happening.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah, so
the big thing they're trying to do is keep him out of the dark web.
Because once it's there, it is it's going to be an extinction. Yeah. Now, here's a question. Like, how does Meathead Stallone figure a way out of this?
I imagine it's not going to be the main character from Cliffhanger, but it's his nerdy twin brother.
Actually, I have one better for you. It is the same character from Cliffhanger, but they do a Lawnmower Man type thing with it.
Okay. Oh, so they give him medication to make him smart.
Yeah, and they try to, like, basically plug him into this computer to fight.
Do they do the shitty CGI?
Of course they do.
The shitty
because that makes sense with his, like, with the way he draws things.
his John Lithgow is almost perfectly rendered, and Sly Stallone is just he's Andros from N64 or not even the Super SNES.
He actually looks like Ivan Ooze at the end of the Power Rangers movie when he's in space and it's just the worst CGI in the world.
Yeah.
Oh my god. My old arch nemesis. Alright, I'm over here. Are you okay?
And he has a lot of max headroom stutters. What?
Cease and desist.
You've betrayed the law.
Oh gosh, I can't. Like, he would be. Round two, I see. You'll see that my powers have more than tripled since last we met. Triple the pride. Triple the fall.
I imagine that's the longest. Triple the fall.
Okay.
Fall.
Like, he goes off and starts doing other things, and then he comes back like a few hours later. Fall.
Hey, in the meantime, he had made robot tea for himself.
In the meantime, he's he controlled Control-Aid everything again, and he just copy and pasted it about 10,000 more times, so that now they're, I think at a certain point, like, the laws of the universe aren't going to support so much matter existing out of nothing.
Yeah, like, there's only... I'm trying. You brought science into it, which was not a good idea.
In order to balance the equation, like for every time he brings something, basically from the ether into actual reality, somewhere in the universe, that matter has disappeared.
Like it would have to.
Yep,
because
it's transferred.
It is, like. I don't know if it disappears, but there's an event that occurs where it's just like it disintegrates, or it's like energy is pulled from it.
It unexists, and like the threat is if our hero doesn't stop this thing, eventually Earth will be the only. All matter in the entire universe will just be on Earth.
And it would force another Big Bang.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, here we go.
Look, actually, I told you.
I'm excited about this now.
I told you. I'm excited not to do this.
I'm excited to actually be in this situation because this is fun for me now. So that's an actual, an interesting threat that you've never seen in a movie, that all matter will be on Earth and the rest of the universe will unexist.
What is it about watching a Stallone movie that we always have him, in a universal existential crisis? Because last time it was Rocky.
You were talking about Rocky,
and he was battling the embodiment of all evil,
and then he became the embodiment of all evil.
Yeah,
just because everything else was,
Then everything was rabbits or something like that.
Yeah, it was a weird episode.
Yeah,
which I loved. So the threat is that if they don't stop this cyber bully, this cyber Lithgow,
literal cyber
bully, if they don't stop him, then all matter in the universe will be transferred onto Earth, and it will basically be another black hole event where nothing, it's gonna restart the universe.
And the only thing that Stallone can do is go back in time.
Time travel, you say?
Like, it's the only other thing that we haven't done.
I know, but I kind of want to see how he can, I guess
how do you punch that matter back to where it's supposed to be?
I guess the best way to do it is he has to wait for the right moment where, it's almost the end, where 99.9999999% of the universe is, actually no, 50% exactly of the universe is in Earth. Exactly 50%.
All right.
And he Control A's, Control C's, and he's gonna try to, do it again, and that'd equal 100% of the universe being on Earth. But the last second, while everything's highlighted, Stallone just pushes delete.
Or Control Z.
Yeah. And everything goes back to normal.
Yeah.
In one, basically click of it. He's gotta wait for this moment. He's playing dumb, but he's gotta wait for this one beautiful moment in order to do this, so that he can just push undo and everything goes back to normal.
I imagine it's almost like the reverse footage from Spaceballs when they're putting the snow back on the mountains and stuff like that.
I imagine across the universe, everything is Earth Angel from Back to the Future. The entire universe is being Earth Angeled, basically. Everything's fading back in, everything's popping back up,
And Spider-Man's coming back wondering what happened.
Yeah. And and then they just with everything undone, they just kind of delete the program and they throw it away.
So what happens when or Stallone just RoboCop to John Lithgow?
Oh, he just takes the brain out and smashes it,
squishes it. Which he could have done all along. I don't know why he didn't do that. Would have solved a lot of problems and wouldn't involve the entire universe, Stallone.
Well, to be fair, at a certain point, there was too much of the universe here.
He couldn't get any. There's too much of the universe in the way between him.
He couldn't get in my way.
Come on, move.
Come on, it's
move, Quasar.
No, all the universe is unexistent, and now they just become memes.
Okay, so it's move, Pepe.
Yeah, exactly. So now that's our sequel. What do we? I don't even know how we can make this thing a trilogy. How do you top the the entire universe being at stake?
Oh, you have to go the other direction. It's the incredible shrinking Stallone.
That's interesting.
We have to fight spiders and
Like, I like that. I'm thinking, I was thinking Ghost John Lithgow, but I don't think I want to do that. I want to do...
Do we want to keep John Lithgow?
Of course. It's a trilogy, you know.
So he has no brain.
He's dead.
He's dead.
He's smushed. So how do we bring John Lithgow back into this situation?
That's tough, because the only thing left is a ghost.
I think I have it.
All right.
I think that it's going to be kind of like Arkham Knight, the video game, where John Lithgow is dead, but the memories of it is tearing Stallone apart. So he has to go into his own psyche to stop it. But he also has, just to keep with the shitty trilogies and RoboCop trilogies, he also has a jetpack in his psyche.
I was going to say, John Lithgow is dead, but he's kind of like that demon from what's that movie with where
Fallen?
Yeah, Fallen, where he just transfers to another body. John Lithgow isn't the first body.
Yeah, of course not. Just one little fleck of brain, lands on a cat, and the cat runs away and now has the embodiment of this thing.
And the cat finds a paintbrush, but it's John Lithgow. It's a cat voiced by John Lithgow.
Okay. And at any point he can transfer into something else, once he touches it, but he's just having too much fun basically toying with Stallone.
Well, I think it's a really shitty cat. Like, it's all mangy and ugly, and no one wants to pet this cat. So he's stuck.
And he can't get back to use his paintbrush.
Like he tries to go. He goes to there's some guy's yard. Like, Ma, that cat's back.
Okay, and I think I have where it comes to an end. 2/3 of the movie, John Lithgow's in this cat. Well, we can have some other dumb. No, that's there's really no threat. Sylvester Stallone, he's trying to cope with everything that's happened.
Yeah.
He's going to psychiatrists and everything.
And John Lithgow is just trying. He still has a vendetta. It's not about taking over the universe or all this money. It's Stallone. Mm-hmm. That is his only goal. So because he wants to that's what he wants to do. He wants to invade Stallone's body and take it over.
That's what happens in the third act. They suggest he gets a therapy cat and he finds the first one that he can, and it's you know what? Hey, little guy, come here. And he pets it, and now it's a battle inside where Stallone and John Lithgow's form inside his head are trying to battle for supremacy.
It's a battle of wills.
Yeah, exactly. And eventually, it's not looking good, but eventually he it's kind of like the end of the 5th season of Supernatural, where he's battling it. He finally gets enough of a control over John Lithgow, to have access to his body and do stuff, because John Lithgow's just doing crimes in this body. And he finally gets enough of a hold over it, and he opens the gate to hell and jumps in.
I was going to say that John Lithgow wins, and Stallone is ascending to the other side. And, as he's ascending to the light, he sees a man just yelling at him, and it's Burgess Meredith. And just here, get back in there! Get back! And he doesn't know who that is in this movie.
Yeah, it's a different universe. Yeah, he gets scared. Yeah, he runs back.
Okay. And that just gives him enough strength to kick John Lithgow out into a termite.
And then he just, I was going to say he stomps it, but no, I think that he doesn't kick John Lithgow out. He absorbs him, overtakes him, and destroys him.
Wait, he eats him?
Yeah, his will completely absorbs the other will and destroys it.
All right.
And that's the end of the John Lithgow. The thing's been alive for 4.8 billion years, and it dies. And
it cuts to many decades later as he's an old man, but he's in front of his fireplace and he's making these beautiful paintings.
Mm-hmm. And that's where we end it.
Yeah.
The credits roll. Yondu's still there for some reason.
They're a couple.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a progressive movie.
Yeah, it's fine. So he gives him a nice warm he gives him a nice warm look up, and he's making these beautiful paintings, and the last one is the painting he calls Farewell, and it's a beautiful painting of Michael Rooker or Yondu as a satyr.
I was gonna say it's Yondu in The Birth of Venus, like in the first movie.
Okay, and then feeling that he's satisfied and complete, his life spirit gives out and he dies peacefully
in bed, like the old lady from Titanic.
Exactly, and he goes down to he transports back up to the mountain where everybody's waiting for him.
Like Burgess Meredith's there.
Yeah, he got trapped somewhere. He doesn't know where he is. Where the hell am I? I don't like this guy over here.
He's so mean.
That girl he dropped at the beginning of the movie's there.
Yeah, I've been waiting a while, you shit.
You know what I did? Do you know the battle I fought? I smushed the guy's prey.
And
the cat's there.
The cat's there. And Yondu's there. Yeah, I died not that long after.
He's got a bullet hole in the back of his head.
Oh.
That's dark.
He's naked because he slipped in the tub because he's an old man.
He's got the towel wrapped around him still.
The shower curtain.
Yeah, he's got he's got the shower cap on his head. And he's got a rubber duck.
Of course he does. And one of those brushes on a stick.
Oh. That's it. That's where it ends. You know what? To be fair,
yeah.
I would be satisfied with this trilogy.
That would have been, yeah, it would have been absolutely ludicrous. But but it would have had a satisfying ending.
Yeah, it's like, something? Every movie is different. The first movie is interesting, establishes this universe as being kind of strange, ludicrous, but still at the same time, fun, fun cleverness to it. The second movie, it builds off it, builds the stakes up, to a zenith, and the third movie is a battle for within, and ends it on a very satisfying, positive note. Mm-hmm. It is a dumb trilogy, but it is very, very satisfying and entertaining. I would watch this again.
Like, it would be a series that is absurd, but absurd within its own rules.
Yeah, it's absurd, but there's a certain amount of heart and passion that goes into it.
There is a logic behind it.
Yes, exactly. Like, yeah, this is a ludicrous universe, but this universe has a very clear set of rules.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. I want to see this movie now.
Yeah, I do too.
So if anyone's listening who can get on this,
get an agent.
Yeah, like get us an agent. We'll do it. We'll make it.
We'll write the script.
Like we've already got it halfway written down.
And Stallone, I think he'll like it.
Yeah, I mean we'll probably have to do his animated.
Yeah.
Or do a lot of deep fakes.
Yeah.
If we want to bring Burgess Meredith back.
Yeah. Well, CGI these days. If they can bring back
Princess Leia.
Yeah, Princess Leia and Peter Cushing.
Yeah, if they can bring back James Dean like they're doing.
Yeah.
Then who's to say that we can't have Burgess Meredith for another couple movies?
You just get an old grouchy man and just put some. Put a hat on him.
Get what's his name, Andy Serkis or whatever. But just have him in it. He can be the whole movie. I don't think anyone would complain.
And if for some reason it's just Burgess Meredith, crawling around like an ape.
Or on that note, Cliffhanger.
A good movie. It's an all right movie rather. It's. I think, as you described it, Die Hard in the Mountains.
Yes.
And but it's silly, but good fun, and you're not wasting your time if you give it a watch.
Like I've heard that before. It's Die Hard on a Mountain. I think and they lived up to that. It's definitely not as good as Die Hard, obviously, but there is some cool stuff in here, and it's some breathtaking scenery.
Yeah. And
it's also back in the good old days where like everything was done in front of the camera.
Yep.
So I would actually recommend it. It's dumb fun, but it's dumb fun nonetheless. It's dumb fun, sure, but it's still fun.
Mm-hmm.
So give it a watch. And I think that'll do it.
Yes.
Take it easy, everybody.
Toodaloo.
That'll little SOBs.